This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
What's going on, everybody? Great friends. How are you today? It's Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. It's Wednesday afternoon. Today is December 14th. We're on the radio on 1090. Tonight we'll be on TV on Channel 4 San Diego, Cox Your View. That's kind of our home base. We'll be on all the audio podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, all the way down to iHeart. And, of course, Chatlands. We are on YouTube. It's so funny, by the way, that as I kind of come back from a commercial break here in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, and I explained to everybody where we are. Fellas, real quick story for you. Last night, I was invited to go to an event to meet, and I'll see if you guys know this name. Alex, I expect you will. Browner, I expect you will not. Does anybody know the name Jill Ellis?
No.
I do.
Okay, so Brown, no idea who Jill Ellis is?
No.
Alex?
Who she play for?
I'll tell you.
I was privy to your meeting.
How so?
Not because you told me.
Oh, I did.
But Jill Ellis got elected into the Hall of Fame this year as well. The Soccer Hall of Fame.
I should have congratulated her. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe 2-time World Cup coaching champion. How do you say that? Is a coach, World Cup champion coach 2 times? However you say that.
Right. Well, Jill Ellis is, and I think her title is like president or CEO of the San Diego Wave. I met her last night. I met Jill for the first time. I met the general manager of the San Diego Wave last night, and I was with the business manager of the San Diego Wave last night. They are literally trying to find their way into the business community of San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because Jill Ellis spoke to this group. There was about 30 or 40 people there. And she spoke to this group and she's like, a year ago, we didn't have a team. And we put together a team and an organization in about 3 months. And then we went out, we put 35,000 people in Snapdragon Stadium. So the Wave has a lot of really great momentum going. And last night they were putting on a very small, intimate kind of cocktail party just to meet people from around town. And so Jill comes up to me and say, "Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you." And I'm like, I hope she doesn't remember me from a few years ago at Qualcomm Stadium when security threw me out of the game. The U.S. women's national team was playing at Qualcomm Stadium against China. And I took my 2 daughters down into the press room and everything because we wanted to meet Alex Morgan. And then after taking pictures with Alex Morgan, this PR guy comes up to me and he goes, "You've embarrassed the entire event. Get out." And he literally was escorting me. And all the security guys who I've known for 20 years are like, "What's going on here?" I'm like, "Bro, don't ask, man. It's just, I'm not even going to make a big deal out of it." My daughter's like, "Dad, let's just go." So I was like, I hope Jill Ellis doesn't remember me from that. She didn't. But I was
I would assume not.
No, but she was asking me, she's like, "So you've been on the radio for over 20 years in San Diego, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Wow, your business must have changed." I'm like, "Jill, you don't even get it, girl." I'm like, "It's not just radio anymore. It used to be 10 years ago. We would just expect people to get into their cars, turn on their radios, and we were the only game in town." I go, "Now we don't expect people to get in their car and turn on their radio. We expect people to have their phone. So whether it's YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Amazon Music, iHeart, any of these audio podcast platforms and the video on YouTube, we expect to get people on their phone. Yes, there's the added value of radio and TV. But we are having a very nice, deep conversation last night, me and Jill Ellis. She wants to come on the show, Grande. What do you think about that?
I think we should get her on the show tomorrow.
Be great.
I think it's great to get her opinion on once by the time people see this, we'll know who's in the World Cup final.
Mm-hmm.
Great time.
I'm trying to get some jerseys with my name on them. Can she do that?
I had a great time at the San Diego Wave game this year.
Me too. Took my daughter. It was great. And somebody else.
I didn't go to the San Diego Wave game this year, but I certainly acted as if I did yesterday when I was talking to Jill.
Fake it till you
Oh
make
my
it.
God, it was such a great time. You haven't even been to Snapdragon yet.
Me?
Yeah.
I went to the very first game at Snapdragon.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Dude, but I was like, Jill, oh my God, the game this year where you guys had 30,000+. Oh my God, what a great time. I didn't say I was there and I loved it. I just said, what an amazing event. So I intimated that I went, but the truth of the matter is I wasn't there.
Hey, always read the fine print, people. Always read the fine print. Good job
So,
by you.
yeah, hey, listen, I'm like I said, I had to spend a lot of time last night with the general manager of the Wave. Spent a lot of time with Jill last night. They're business people, and we're going to try and see if we can't do some things together to help them drum up a lot more publicity around town. So,
I'm trying to hang a Wave Browner jersey back here. Let's make
oh, I
it
should have
happen.
brought. I got a Wave scarf.
Where that?
It's in my car. I got
You
a
got
Wave.
3 of them?
No, I should have grabbed some for you guys. My B. I'll get them.
Also, still waiting for my LAFC package.
Oh,
to come.
the LFC package is right over
Oh,
here.
you know what? I already own a Wave scarf, by the way. Bought one when I went to the game. Correction, I don't need it.
Really?
I
Yeah.
have a.
Yeah.
I bought a Wave T-shirt and I have
Uh-huh.
a Wave rally tail somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So we already own Wave paraphernalia.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm trying to work with them a little bit, help them out, do what we can do to help. And Jill was very, very open to guesting on the show, and was pretty stoked about it. So anyway, I guess the moral of the story is that when we come on the air and we talk about being on radio and TV and YouTube and audio podcasts, when you meet somebody and they're like, "Your business must have changed over the last few years," I'm like, "Lady, you don't even know," because the whole key to everything we do now is not just anticipating people are going to find us on the radio. We got to be on their phones. So that was our revelation back in 2019. We are in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. If you're thinking about what you're going to do this holiday season with relatives that are coming into town and what are we going to do with all these people and we got to get out of the house, go to 7 Mile Casino. Blackjack poker on one side, Sammy's Restaurant and Bar, which is Sammy's Woodfire Pizza on the other side. Completely smoke-free environment, only 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego, so you don't have to schlep all the way out east. And that beautiful, crispy, clean air as you're right there on the Bay of Chula Vista. So check them out, 7 Mile Casino and 7milecasino.com. Fellas, let me hear what you guys think about what the San Francisco Giants did last night. Because while the Padres have been the talk of the NL West, whereas we could maybe say the Mets or the Phillies were the talk of the NL East, it was the Padres that were making the moves while the Giants lost out on Aaron Judge, even though some people might say the Padres did as well. The Dodgers haven't made any moves as of quite yet. And I thought Chris Rose last week explained why that is. I mean, most of us just think that, they're trying to figure out what they want to do, or maybe they're preparing for next year to go get Ohtani. But the reality is that they're probably trying to figure out what's going to happen with this Trevor Bauer contract and how much are they going to be on the hook for before they go spend a bunch of money. So what'd you guys think about Carlos Correa signing last night with the San Francisco Giants?
That's a lot of money for a guy who wasn't even the best player on the World Series cheating team.
Yeah.
That is a lot of money for a dude that was not the best player on that team.
I feel like this is what happens when you don't get the person you were supposed to get and you still have the money and the fans expect for you to do something now.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the something that they got the fourth. They overpaid. They vastly overpaid for the fourth best free agent, which is great for us in the division because that contract's not going to – it's not that money's gone now. And look what they got for it. Like that – Carlos Correa, if you put Tatis at second, he might not even be the best Padres infielder. Like, okay, cool, good times.
I was trying to do that.
I think Carlos Correa is a really good.
If you put Tatis at second,
if you put Cronenworth at 1st,
mm-hmm.
Tatis at second, because I know you guys don't want to put him at short. Bogarts at short, and Manny at third, which Manny ain't going nowhere. He wouldn't. I don't know if he'd be the best Padres infielder. He wouldn't crack the list.
Yeah, $350 million.
That's a lot
for a guy that doesn't really hit for a lot of power, doesn't really drive in a ton of runs.
And that's not a place you're gonna hit for power either, by the way, unless you bury Bonds.
Like, that is a lot of money. That was my first initial reaction. Listen, he's a really good player. I'm not gonna say he's not. He's a really good player, but I don't know if he's $350 million worth. Like, when I saw Trey Turner get that money, I seen what that guy's been doing his whole career.
Right.
That guy is legitimately, and when you look at the stats, I guess Correa's not too far off, but there's just Something about Trey Turner is better. Xander Bogaerts, from what everybody's saying, he's one of the best pure hitters in baseball. The dude just knows how to hit. And he didn't even get $350 million. $350 million after missing out on Aaron Judge, because I agree with Browner. I 100% agree with Browner. The Giants fans were expecting the Giants to go land a big name free agent. They got that. I don't think it's the guy that the fans wanted.
No,
I don't.
no. What the fans in San Francisco wanted was Aaron Judge. There was the storyline of, oh, Aaron Judge is a NorCal guy, and we're going to bring him home, and the Giants are probably his favorite landing destination. But all of that was just nonsense talk to keep driving the price up for the Yankees.
Yes.
He was. Why would you ever leave the New York Yankees
if the Giants?
Right. Well, listen, the Giants are a legendary organization, but they're not the Yankees.
Correct.
And so when you take a look,
they're also never been like spending like that before.
Correct.
But I think you said it, and Browner really started it. The fan base had an expectation that they were going to do something. By the way, my dog is losing his mind. The freaking Gardner comes
he hates the signing. Your dog hates the signing.
Now, every Wednesday this happens. Literally every Wednesday on the show this happens.
Today's a different level, though. Today's a different
level.
He
seems angrier, the dog.
Yeah.
He's
too many people in the house.
He's got like a built-up confidence right now. He's like, I got my team, my squad is here.
Yeah.
I got backup right now.
Right.
He's old school. He's old school. We must protect this house.
Yeah. Right.
He's Under Armour right now. We must protect this house.
This dog is freaking out, man. He must look at this Gardner and be like, I want a piece of that guy. I want those shoelaces.
Yeah.
I want that Achilles.
So
here's the thing. I think you're right, Browner, in that. Oh, here we go. Look at. the Gardner's right outside my door right now, and he's blowing like leaves, and the dog is just going room to room. Look. Anybody who's watching can see the curtains in the back. They're moving because the dog is going in and out of the room, looking to fight this Gardner.
Wherever you go, I'm going.
Yeah. I think you're right, though, that the Giants fans had an expectation that if you're going to go after Aaron Judge and you're willing to spend $300 million, $350 million, whatever the dollar figure was going to be, if you don't get Aaron Judge, you then have a ton of money that you dedicated to him that you didn't give to him, but you have to create, you got to get a star and you got to get a marquee player and you got to spend that money to make the fans believe.
Because you told your fans, we have X amount of dollars to spend. And if you spend none of them, they go, well, wait a minute. Because that's what's happening to the Cubs, who were in the Carlos Correa chase. The Twins as well were in the Carlos Correa chase. And when the Giants got him for this money, those two fan bases are now like, wait a minute, what? So we don't get nobody? I thought y'all had all this money to spend.
Yeah. The money.
It's really fascinating, too, because, you look at the annual value, that's not a big number. But when you look at the total amount of money that Carlos Correa got from the Giants, that was the fourth most money ever given to anyone in baseball. The fourth most ever. Mike Trout, $426 million. Who, whatever Browner says, that dude has been the best baseball player for like almost a decade. Mookie Betts, $365 million. Aaron Judge, $360 million. And now Carlos Correa at $350 million. Is Carlos Correa that good? Is he that much of a game changer on your squad like Aaron Judge was for the Yankees? Like Mookie Betts has been for either team he's been on? Like Mike Trout has been? Like, that is a lot of money, man.
If the Giants finish in last place, I would fire the general manager. Like, this is something that you just explained to the fans. This is how much money we had for Aaron Judge. This is how much money we offered Carlos Correa. He said no. We couldn't match. We were not going to give him what X amount he ended up getting on the market because we didn't think that made sense for us. But they couldn't. They caved to the pressure. They caved to the pressure, man.
Well, they also are a very aging team, too.
Right.
They're a team that Brandon Crawford's been their shortstop for years, and now he's like 38 years old. Buster Posey's long gone.
And
this is a team that, Brandon Belt's gone. Like, this is a team that is just aging out. And after winning 100+ games 2 years ago to the year they had this year, they had to do something.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. They had to do something.
But see, to me, and this is just my own opinion, my own like philosophy, if I were a baseball GM, I know that all the players want the long-term big money security, but I, as a general manager, I don't want to give a guy an 11-year contract. I don't want to give a guy a 13-year contract.
I don't want to give a 30-year-old guy that. A
Well, yeah, I mean,
22-year-old or 23-year-old, like what Mike Trout was when he got that deal.
or
Yes.
what Tatis got.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the kid from Atlanta. Yes.
But a
Yeah.
29-year-old
Acuna.
guy,
Yes.
like what did you say, Alex?
Acuna.
Yes,
Ronald
okay.
Acuna.
If a 29-year-old guy like Correa, to give him a 13-year deal that's going to take him to 41, 42 years old.
Ooh.
As if I were in their shoes, I'd say I don't like the length and I don't like the dollar figure. Now, somebody might say, no, you're wrong. The dollar figure is good because at $26.5 million a year, 5 or 6 years from now, if you were going to sign a player of this magnitude, that player is going to make $35 million or $40 million a year. So you're locking this guy in at $26 million a year over 13 years. But honestly, like if you're 29 and you get to 35, that's 6 years of 13 years.
The production that he would have to give you past 35 to justify that number. I don't care what the financials go up to, because at some point we're going to hit a cap at how much money a team can make. It's going to happen. So when you hit that, it has to. It's
capped to what a team can make.
I think that we've reached the cap. Maybe what you're saying is the total number might keep going up, but I think annual value, we've kind of reached it, man. Like it's no more than 40 million. And all these guys are signing for 25 to 30 million dollars a year.
Well,
I
here's
think if that's what you're talking about, like I think
that's what I'm saying.
Like Soto might get 500, but he might get it for 15 years.
Well, but like think just from a football, like just to make a football comparison, when Aaron Rodgers got his contract, everybody said, well, no one's going to exceed that contract because Aaron Rodgers actually got more than, say, Patrick Mahomes. But since then, other quarterbacks have signed, like a Kyler Murray, for more than Mahomes. And even though yesterday we were talking about Justin Herbert, is he a $50 million a year quarterback? Is Justin Herbert going to make more than Aaron Rodgers? If next year in baseball, if Ohtani becomes a $45 or $50 million a year player, Ohtani, is somebody in baseball, Soto, going to go beyond what Ohtani's contract is?
That's a great question. And I know I have my comments about Ohtani. Somebody's going to give him $50 million.
Well, you know who it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know who it's going to be.
The Dodgers or the Yankees?
The Padres.
I don't know about the Padres.
No.
I don't know about the Padres, but listen.
I don't rule them out anymore.
Yeah,
they threw 400 at Judge.
Right, but as the Dodgers haven't made a move, and the Dodgers, there was talk about, well, we retained Trey Turner. Most people didn't think so. Were they going to get Carlos Correa? Fans were up in arms about should they want Carlos Correa or would they not be happy because of the cheating scandal? The Dodgers haven't done anything yet. And in the last 2 years, they've let their starting shortstop go both years to big money deals, obviously. But it looks like the Dodgers like they're trying to prepare for next year where they could go get Ohtani.
Right. So I mean, that's, to me, again, I'm not a fan. I understand why people fawn over him. I get it. I'm just not a fan. I think he's the only $50 million player on the horizon that I would be like, all right, well, I mean, I wouldn't have done it, but I see why you did.
This might be the most important, another talking point. This might be the most important year for Angels baseball in their history. Because if the Angels, because they're going out and they're getting guys too. Like they haven't just sat on their hands. Like they're going out and they've spent some money, not big money.
Because they don't need that.
Guys, right. They've gotten guys that they think can put them back into the AL West contention. If the Angels somehow turn into a playoff team this year, which if they're healthy, they might be. If Trout, Rendon, Ohtani, and their pitching staff actually comes to fruition eventually, finally.
At some
point. What if the Angels just like, hey, yo, Ohtani, here's $500 million from us, and he stays there. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
I know, but they're in the middle of like a sale too. Right. And when I say in the middle of, I mean the team is for sale.
And they've got some legal problems too.
And you could be looking at another Nationals thing where they were going through a sale, and the last thing the new owner wanted to do was to trade Soto. So the last thing the new owner is going to want to do is lose Ohtani. So if you
go to him, if you like Soto, if you go to him and say, hey, here's $490 million, and and he says, no, I'm good. I need to see who the new owner is. And even then, I don't know. I'll wait. You got to trade him.
And if I were the Angels, rather than letting him walk via free agency, I'd try and start thinking about moving Ohtani now.
Absolutely.
And if you were the Dodgers, you'd be smart to try and get him now
Right
while
now.
he's under the contract that he's got with the Angels, and then work on the long-term deal. But you've got him.
If I'm the Angels and I trade and Ohtani says no, I'm trading to everybody because this didn't work. It didn't work. And we got a new owner, so let's get our value, let's get our costs down. So Trout, whatever you got for him, completely, utterly make the greatest farm system anyone has ever seen by trading Ohtani, by trading Trout, and finding somebody to take that ridiculous Rendon contract. And you will have the all-star of all-stars coming up through your farm system.
All right, listen, we got a lot more to get to on this. I just got to say one thing, and I just got to call a timeout, a personal timeout. Oh, my God. It's freaking December, dude. It's middle of December, and we're talking more baseball than we are football, which is insane. We'll get to some football stuff, a lot of football stuff today, and I know we all watched this Laker loss last night. We'll get there, too. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. This is Kaplan and Crew.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
Absolutely. The best part of the day is working with the team and working directly with customers. Just because it's fun and I enjoy collaborating. I enjoy watching the customers' reactions when the designers come up with their spaces. And we really take pride in the team effort and what we accomplish in the end.
I can tell that the team we have, accountability is very important. They feel like the work that we do is not just a reflection of themselves, but a reflection of us.
We've always been a design build company, but now we've taken design, not only architectural, but interior design to a completely different level.
The philosophy of integrity here at Murray Lampert is always doing the right thing even when someone isn't looking. In turn, the homeowners get a really great product.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Your next outdoor family adventure awaits. Exploring and adventuring to new places, creating beautiful memories for your ultimate family experience using clean and pure energy. Endless charging for endless possibility, fueling all your outdoor needs. Our easy to set up solar panels offer clean and powerful energy. Pass-through charging means you can charge still fully enjoying your adventures. Experience your dreams with Jackery. Be free on your travels, enjoying delicious meals. Listen to the sounds of nature or a great film, peacefully and quietly. Making these small moments count. Jackery Solar Generator.
Jackery. Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by Jackery Solar Generator. Explore further with Jackery Solar Generator.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com. We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
The Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank needs your help feeding families and seniors in need this holiday season. Provide food assistance to those in need at hundreds of food distribution sites throughout San Diego County.
Today we're here at one of our senior food program distribution sites in Chula Vista, where we're going to be serving over 450 seniors at this one location. The San Diego Food Bank has been around since 1977. We are currently serving over 500,000 people every single month. We were serving 350,000 people throughout all of San Diego County just before the pandemic, so the need has definitely increased. We are here and wanting to make sure that families know where they can access food, and that folks who want to contribute know how to donate to the food bank to continue to support those 500,000 families every single month.
Happy holidays from the San Diego Food Bank.
San Diego Varicose Vein Treatment Center, we take care of all various needs of patients for management of their venous insufficiency. People who come here are mainly concerned about symptoms that brings them on or issues related to cosmetic concern that we can always take care of. Now with the advancement of technology and so many catheter-based treatments, we can treat our patients much more quickly, much more comfortably with less downtime. Patients love the result invariably.
It's been a huge impact in my life to feel better, to be able to power walk again. Overall, I'm just feeling like I used to feel when I was a lot younger, and I'm so grateful for this place.
It's a privilege to take care of our patients. It comes from the heart, and I love it.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
We're breaking that stereotype of what a homeless person is, this subculture society. We're just brothers, sisters, mom, dad, grandmas, and grandpas being part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
So, ladies and gentlemen, left-hand side.
We make sure that there's no drug dealing, drug use, encampments around their facilities, or anywhere in our neighborhood. We self-police, and that's all a testament to the folks here that used to be out there.
Watch out for sharp objects, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a perfect example of the caliber of the men and women that have been outside on the streets.
Here in San Diego for over 50 years, have worked all my life since 1975, but suddenly I had a stroke and I lost all muscle control. One of the things you never think will happen to you, but it can.
The onus of responsibility need to go to our folks like Ed, people you've seen here that have tremendous skill, and give them the opportunity to shine. It's that peer-to-peer support, talking to the folks out there and bringing folks in here to start the process.
Happy holidays from the Alpha Project.
Surf Soccer has been around for over 30 years. We're based here in San Diego, but we are the premier national youth sports brand in soccer. Our mission is to create experiences and opportunities for kids, and we do that here mostly in San Diego with our 1,000 kids, but we also do it through our events where we really help kids chase their dreams.
PNC Bank sponsorship helps the kids here. One, it is to continue to help fund facilities like this where the kids can come play soccer. Two, it is really through our scholarship program. There are a lot of kids in San Diego that have incredible levels of talent, but they can't afford to play on a team like Surf. And so a lot of our sponsorship dollars go back into scholarships to give an opportunity for kids who are low to moderate income to play on one of the elite teams in the U.S.
Having a partner like PNC who is community oriented and cares about the development of youth in the community is amazing, because our missions are completely aligned and we're both driven by helping develop kids, and in this case through sport in San Diego.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
Drivers are getting in accidents at a rate we've never seen before, jumping 18% since 2020. There are higher incidents of speeding and more aggressive driving since the pandemic began. Please slow down and drive safely. It can save a life.
Murray Lampert's design process is very collaborative. We love the process, and what's best about the process is the way that it can flex as needed. So if there's a new piece of technology that's available that's really going to help us out, make a more accurate model, we're going to utilize that. We'll send the measure-off team to the house, and they will end up scanning the house using drones, LiDAR scanning, lasers, and tape measures to measure every square inch of the home. Then they'll take that information back to the office and build a 3D model of the home. We'll be upfront and honest if they're asking for things that may be out of their budget. We're going to let them know up front. We're always motivated to strive for excellence. There's kind of not another way to be. We do the best work we can and ultimately make the homeowners happy. What makes me proud is when we present that 3D model to the homeowners and we wow them. Sometimes we even bring tears to their eyes because they love the design so much. That brings me a lot of joy.
Hey to all of our great friends out there watching on Cox Your View. We're so glad you guys are here. Look, you know you can catch a show every day on radio on 1090. You can catch us anytime you want on YouTube, plus all of our clips. You can visit us on our website, kaplanandcrew.com, where you can buy our merch, or you can give us your email address and we can contact you every week. But I want to say this. We so appreciate all of the support. In this particular instance, our sponsor, Jackery. Make sure you visit them online at jackery.com.
I feel like I have the fun part of the job where I get to help out and make my clients' houses look beautiful. We start with looking at the floor plan, space planning, and then we look at countertops, tile, backsplashes, flooring, cabinets, everything like that. We have a lot of client meetings start in our conference room. Sometimes we have some clients that have already selected certain items that they want to incorporate into their project. We want to make sure they're happy with it because they're going to be living with it for a very long time. Sometimes we'll do something that goes totally with the style, and then we'll have a total outlier option for the client. And a lot of the times they end up going with that because they want to see something totally different. We want to make sure that we're focusing in on our clients. I really want to make sure at the end of the day the clients are happy, that I'm keeping up with my communication with them, and that we know that at the end of the day as well, and moving through the process of construction and everything, that we're going to have a successful project.
At the Barnes firm, we're seeing more pedestrian and bicycle accidents. Drivers are rolling through red lights, and distracted driving makes every intersection a danger zone for pedestrians. Look both ways when crossing, even if you have the right of way.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Great friends. What's happening? It is Wednesday afternoon. Today is December 14th. Kaplan and Crew on the radio airwaves of 1090, on the stream of YouTube, on all the different audio podcast platforms where you get your audio podcasts, and on TV tonight. Channel 4 San Diego is our home base. You can catch us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Sided, you name it, we're there. And hopefully you're also getting our emails. If you go to our website, kaplanandcrew.com, scroll to the bottom, put in your email, you'll make it onto our email list. So Wednesday afternoon here on the show, we're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. So guys, I watched certainly the whole fourth quarter of the Lakers-Celtics game last night. And Alex, I know you're our resident Laker fan. And Browner, you tell us you watch every NBA game. I don't. I watch a lot of the Laker games. Kind of figured that Boston, after being beaten by Golden State and then beaten by the Clippers and starting to kind of get, sort of a little bit beaten up by the very tough Boston media. You know, they had the best record in basketball, and the Boston media is like, oh, these guys, they don't know how to handle adversity. Look at these guys arguing about calls rather than getting back on defense. I mean, the criticism of the team that's got the best record in the entire NBA, Boston, article after article in the Boston Globe about how bad they've been in these previous two games. And I was thinking that if you're the Lakers, you got to take advantage of this moment. They got a couple of guys out. You got home court. They're on this long road trip. I mean, you got to win this game. And the Celtics they're just kind of taking it to the Lakers. Jason Tatum is just unstoppable. This guy, talk about like watching a guy play a game, and he's just beautiful to play the game. I mean, the shots that this guy comes up with, incredible, and just worked LeBron James over, especially late. But here's the thing. The Celtics are killing the Lakers. And the Lakers, to their credit, come battling back. They went on a run at one point. I want to say it was like 31-5, like some crazy run.
In the second half?
Yeah. And then just when you thought the Lakers had this game won, somehow the Celtics go on a crazy run. I want to say like 17-4, something like that. Bottom line is, the Lakers look like they've made this battle back, like they're going to win this game. They're going to defend home court. They're going to make people start thinking about, like, well, they beat Milwaukee there. They beat Boston, best team in the NBA. You know, maybe the Lakers aren't so bad. They're digging out of this hole. And then the freaking Celtics just take that game over. And even at the very end, when the Lakers have a chance with a 2-point lead and about 20 seconds to play, Anthony Davis goes to the free throw line. Anthony Davis played a great game. Misses both free throws. If he makes those two free throws, it's probably game, set, match. Missed them both. Scored 37 points, had a great night. Missed both free throws. Was 11 for 15 from the free throw line. Missed both in crunch time. So, fellas, I'll ask you, what'd you think about what happened last night to the Lakers in this game?
Well, first, I've watched a lot of games this year. That was the best game of the year by far.
You mean like the best NBA basketball game just overall?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great game.
By far.
Yeah.
I thought the mistake actually came when LeBron was guarding Jason Tatum, and I thought down the stretch, and I thought it should have been AD. Because I thought the Lakers did everything right to come back into that game, because the NBA is a game of runs. Everybody knows that. But there's ways to sustain certain runs where other guys aren't killing you. Jason Tatum was killing them because they have no wing defenders. But he was really working in the mid-game toward the end, and that's when AD should have been guarding him and not LeBron. I don't bang on AD for missing those free throws. Without AD, that's not even a game in the fourth quarter.
I know, but and I'm not banging on it either. But I mean, when you're a player of his
caliber,
yeah,
you got to make those, yeah,
right. I mean, Shaquille O'Neal was a terrible free throw shooter. Anthony Davis is not a terrible free throw shooter, but in the last couple of games, that game in Philadelphia last Friday night, and then in this game, by the way, Alex, you got to be super impressed with all my NBA talk right about now. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, a couple of years ago, I didn't even know the NBA even existed. But seriously, like in 2 games in a row, he's missed free throws in crunch time when those free throws would have likely iced the game. They could have beaten Philadelphia on the road. They should have beaten Boston last night. I say should have. They made this great comeback. So I feel like even though you can't beat up on Anthony Davis because he had such a huge night and he's such a monster part of what they do, especially now that he's healthy, dude, you got to hit those free throws, dude. I mean, I think.
Yeah, I mean, last night was a perfect encapsulation of what is wrong with the Lakers, not what is good with the Lakers. I think when you look at what happened in the third and specifically really the fourth quarter, Darvin had made 0 subs. 0.
Yep.
Like everybody stayed in the whole game. That is bad coaching. I don't think Darvin Ham is a good coach. I think he's a first-time coach, and he's proven that so many times. Secondly, the inability to look at your bench and be like, that's a viable option, that is a problem. Literally in the fourth quarter, AD, LeBron, and Russ scored every point. Every point. Nobody else scored. And he might have subbed out Brown for Lonnie, maybe, but I'm pretty sure Lonnie was in the whole time. And that's it. They got Reeves, who's a serviceable NBA player. He's shown that. They can't shoot. They literally cannot shoot. In the overtime, Boston backed about 10 feet away from Russell Westbrook and said, go ahead, beat us.
Yep.
And Russell Westbrook was a very willing participant into missing very wide open shots.
Mm-hmm.
Last night was probably the most frustrating game ever because the Lakers show you they are willing to give you a defensive effort every now and then. And when they do that, they can compete with a lot of teams. When they do that, I mean, they beat Milwaukee. They beat Milwaukee doing it.
Yeah.
But LeBron is old. AD is fragile. They were gassed.
Yeah.
3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They had nothing left in the tank, and there's nobody to go to. There's nobody to go to.
I just want to push back on that and say this. You have a bench of players. They're all in uniform and they're all getting paid. So as a first-time head coach, this is where he's made a mistake. And look, I can put it on AD missing those 2 free throws. I can put it on Russ for not being able to hit open shots in overtime. I could put it on LeBron for getting worked over on the defensive end by Tatum. I mean, I can find ways to blame the star players, but in this particular game, I think a lot of the blame has to go to a coach who's saying, those 5 guys are the guys we got to go with. No. Those 3 guys are the guys you got to go with. There's 2 other players. You got to find a way to make substitutions to add energy to the floor. This is just my own opinion that he left those 5 guys out there. And if it's give LeBron 2 minutes, give AD a couple of minutes, Russ seems to be very energetic the whole game. He driving to the basket. He still looked good. Shooting, not so much.
You don't want to see him out of gas. That is not a pretty sight.
All I'm saying to you is Alex, I hear what you're saying, but don't we blame the coach for that rather than the players in uniforms who never even got on the floor?
I mean, I started by blaming Darvin Ham.
Okay, just want to make sure because to me.
But I'm not going to blame as a bigger picture. And I know we're talking specifically about last night, but this is literally the problem with the Lakers is there's nobody to go to. You have to blame the front office on that. Like there is nobody to go to. Patrick Beverley is the worst player on the team, probably, the way he's played this year. Kendrick Nunn has given you absolutely nothing.
6 minutes last night. 0.
Nothing. And those are 2 guys that you were coming in here. You considered Kendrick Nunn a free agent because he didn't play last year. Patrick Beverley was thought to be the best 3-point shooter on the team. That guy can't even hold on to the ball without turning the ball over. Yeah, exactly. There's no surprise here of how bad this roster is. 0.
I thought if you brought Patrick Beverley to the Los Angeles Lakers with an intent on him being your best 3-point shooter, yikes.
Yeah. They brought him with the intention of being one of their best 3-point shooters and being their stopper. And Patrick Beverley is he's so undersized going up against someone. Like, he didn't even do it yesterday because he just can't. You can't stop Jason Tatum. He can't stop Brown.
Or Jaylen Brown.
No, he can't. So, and that's unfair for Patrick Beverley to have to do that because that's not really – can he be a defensive force? Yes. But is he going to go and stop Kawhi Leonard? Is he going to go stop Kevin
No,
Durant? Is he going to go
no.
stop the team's other best player? No. The Lakers don't have a single person on this team near the caliber of the modern day NBA player, which is Jason Tatum, a 6'6" wing. And the Celtics got that in droves. They got that dudes that can knock down shots, dudes that can defend, dudes that can create their own shot. The Celtics built a modern day NBA roster, which is why they're probably the best team in the league this year. Whereas opposed to the Lakers they got 2 superstars and a bunch of other dudes. And we'll see what sticks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, last night was super frustrating, though, because to be down the way they were, to battle back and take the lead. And at one point, I want to say the Lakers had about a 13-point lead with about, I don't know, 7 minutes or so
I'll
to go
tell
in
you
the fourth
exactly
quarter.
because I had the podcast last night. The
Yeah.
Lakers went up 103 night. Why is that wrong? 106.93
Okay.
with
13
4
points.
minutes and 25 seconds left.
One more time. Give me that number 103.
106.93, 4 minutes, 25
106.93.
seconds left. LeBron, that's when LeBron missed the and one
Mhm.
and then went to the free throw line and went 1 of 2. And LeBron jumped about 20 feet in the air because he was like, he wanted that and one so bad. Because I'll give the Laker fans this. That was about as loud as I've ever heard crypto in about 2 years last night. They were really into that game, and that was their chance to put it away. They couldn't put it away. Then they were just gassed. They started taking bad shots. LeBron, it plays hero ball all the time.
All the time.
I mean, my
Starts
goodness.
taking threes, like 28,
Right.
30-foot three-point jumpers.
Right.
Like the game-winning shot.
Right. Terrible shot.
Terrible shot. And you know what? Like, AD didn't want anything to do with the final 4 minutes of the game. AD wanted nothing to do with overtime. He was so tired. And you know what? When you want to blame coaches for things, I can only blame one person for a free throw, and that's the person missing the free throw.
True.
Anthony Davis choked in back-to-back games, and that's okay to say. It's
Mhm.
okay to say that they wouldn't have been in that position without Anthony Davis. Doesn't matter. He still choked.
Yeah.
He
right.
still choked.
Right.
They're
That's
free
true.
throws.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
You're
true.
you're a $30 million or $40 million a year NBA player, and by the way, you're 11 for 13 on the night on free throws. Again, this isn't Shaquille O'Neal at 50%. Anthony Davis 90%.
The problem, when you get to a point like that with a free throw, I don't have any sympathy for any NBA player. You're in the NBA. You should be making 2 free throws. Period.
Yeah.
Period. Like,
And LeBron is one of the biggest
he's notorious for missing free throws.
notorious for missing big time free throws.
Mhm.
Notorious. And that's trickled over to Anthony Davis. It's bled over to him now. Yeah, it's a very frustrating thing, man, because this team can be something, but they're just missing stuff. And this front office refusal to do anything. And these leaks that continue to come out, we're like, well,
We're
let's see
trading
how we
for
do here.
so-and-so.
No, let's see how we do here. And if we get to this here, if we're competitive, then maybe we'll do something. But then if they're competitive, we're like, well, we don't need to do anything because we're
Yep.
competitive without doing anything. It's
I-
just so frustrating, man. This front office is the biggest joke in the NBA.
I always think they should win those games because it looks better on paper for them throughout the season if they pull a game like that out. Because you're right, when they choose to play defense, the few times they do a week, they need to win those games.
Yeah.
They need to win those games. And last
The
night
Lakers
they
right now
didn't.
could very easily have a winning record right now. They blew the game against Indiana.
Right.
That
Mhm.
should have been their 12th win.
Yep.
They blew the game against Philly. That should have been their
Right.
13th win. And they blew the game last night. They should be 14 and 13 right now.
Mm-hmm.
But because they don't have a legitimate option. So when they take away AD and LeBron, and this was the other thing too. Oh my God, what's Joe Mazzulla? So they wired him on TNT.
Yeah.
Also a rookie
And
head coach.
it was 106, 103.
And by the way,
They came
rookie
back
head
from
coach who
break.
came from out of nowhere, Browner. I
Right,
mean,
right.
he's
Because
not a
of
guy
Goga.
who's been in the NBA for the last 15 years trying to make his way like Darvin Ham. This guy was at some little teeny tiny Division II school. I mean, this guy's ascension to NBA head coach. Man, I looked at him last night, Alex, what you were talking about when he was mic'd up, and I was wondering, are these players really, do they buy him? Are they listening to this guy?
They 100% bought into what he said because I've never heard an NBA coach be so blunt, knowing that he was mic'd up. When they were down 106, 103, they came back from commercial. They show Ham whatever he said.
Yeah.
Mazzulla goes, stop giving them the paint.
Yeah.
Just guard the paint. They cannot make a shot outside the paint.
Right.
Stop letting them in the paint.
He
And
said-
they literally just locked the paint down, and that's when the Celtics went
Yeah.
on this massive run.
He said, he goes, the only thing they've got is Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Like that's what he said.
He said that.
Yeah.
good.
And it's
'Cause
and by
that's
the way,
what there's. Go ahead.
Scott, you've watched every Laker game probably, at least some of all of it. Look at the way they guard Russ. It's not a surprise, man. As
Right.
soon as Anthony Davis gives the ball up and goes inside the paint, there is two bodies on him at all times.
Yeah.
He is legitimately throwing down an MVP caliber season with almost a double team every single time he's got the ball, as long as Russ is on the court, because you don't need to guard Russ outside of the paint. You don't need to.
I would have thought
If you lose because Russell Westbrook knocked down 6 threes,
Yeah.
you'll take that L.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, listen, again, I always like to come back to football. It used to be where an NFL football team would say, okay, good luck. Beat us with the pass. We're going to stack the box. We're going to tell you you absolutely cannot run the football against us. And we're willing to take our chances against your quarterback and your passing game. But we're not going to let you run us over. And so it's kind of the same thing, where they try to take away what you're best at. I would have thought that if Anthony Davis scored 37 points like he did last night, and by the way, LeBron added 33, that if those two guys put up that kind of scoring performance, like the night before when Paul George and Kawhi put up a great night, not these kinds of numbers, I would have thought the Lakers could have won that game. But who knew that Jason Tatum was going to just go completely off?
Correct. If your guys do that, somebody else can't be better than them. And somebody with those numbers, those two guys weren't the best player on the court, and that's why they lost the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. The more I haven't, there's not like a deep Rolodex of me watching Celtics games here, but every time I do watch a Celtics game, I was like, I don't think Tatum gets talked about enough, man. That dude is freaking good.
I think
he's very good.
I think in NBA circles, like real insider types and real hardcore fan types, I think they all know that Jason Tatum is one of the best players in basketball. But I think that it's become so cliche to just talk about Giannis and KD. And, if LeBron's not listed as the number, 2 or 3 player in the NBA before in the preseason, everybody's up in arms. My point is Tatum is a guy who, if you don't follow the league per se, and you only follow a team, you may not realize how great he is.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't do himself any favors in the finals last year, so I kind of
Right.
get that,
That's why that's why he's
Right.
not really talked about in those circles.
because he lost out to a guy that people do talk about like that, Steph Curry.
Mhm.
So I think when you have those moments, Giannis has had his moments where he's been the best player in the finals and he's won a final. Jason he just hasn't been there yet.
I didn't realize he was only 6'6". I would have thought he was bigger than that.
He's 6'8".
6'8"?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
Is
I
he?
thought he was
Mhm.
taller than 6'6" myself.
Man, just one wing guy would be so nice. I mean, Lonnie Walker's fine. He's actually playing. He's like this year's Malik Monk. I think this guy's playing out of his mind so far for the Lakers.
Would have been nice to have put him in the game in the fourth quarter and let him bring a little energy.
But my goodness, man, the Lakers just getting like one guy like that would just make such a difference. Not even a guy that give you 30, just somebody that can create their own shot, make a three here and there, and be 6'8". That'd be nice.
I just want to say to all of the great friends in San Diego that are not NBA fans, I totally get it. And some of you guys might be like, I can't believe you're talking so much NBA, but hold on. Browner's been a lifelong NBA fan.
Absolutely.
Grande's been a lifelong Laker fan. And I'm not lying to anybody. You know why all of a sudden I'm interested in it. It's not really LeBron or AD. It's my work up in LA. I got to know what's going on. But I will say this. If you're a San Diego sports fan and you're not a Laker fan or you're not an NBA fan, I'm just curious, like what sports are you into right now? Because somebody asked me the other day in LA, they're like, so what do you talk about on the San Diego show? Just like, what exactly are you talking about? The Chargers? And I'm like, we kind of talk about everything now, but I understand a lot of San Diego people are not necessarily big NBA fans. I wasn't for years. I never talked NBA on the air. But what else are we watching? I mean, baseball offseason, okay, very exciting. Winter meetings, that was great. Some people love the Chargers. Some people hate the Chargers, but we're still probably a lot of us watching the NFL. San Diego State basketball, okay, yeah. But I'm just telling everybody, if we're all into it, I know some of you really are. Bernard Thompson's got a Lakers tattoo on his arm. But for those of you that aren't, I mean, it's almost like we're all watching a series together. It's like watching a series on Netflix and we're all talking about it together. That's
like we're watching a series that's going to get canceled.
Or one that just teases you all the time, you know?
Yeah.
So, all right. Hey, listen, let me have 1 minute to just
The
mention
final season of Game of Thrones. What
Right.
happened to this
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. 1 minute here just to mention our friends at Penske San Diego, PenskeSanDiego.com. They've got 12 area dealerships. They represent 9 different manufacturers. They are Acura, which Alex just got a brand new one at Acura of Escondido. Acura, Audi, BMW, Honda, Lexus, Mini, Mazda. You know, I've got 3 Mazdas from Mazda of Escondido, a Penske dealership. Mercedes and Toyota. So 9 brands, 12 dealerships, and make things easy on yourself. Just go to PenskeSanDiego.com, Penske, PenskeSanDiego.com, shop there, and then just go make an appointment. Go, hey, I want to see this car or this car. I'm really interested in this. Make your shopping experience quicker and very efficient. Penske San Diego, PenskeSanDiego.com. Can you guys believe it? Today is December 14th. The World Cup is going on when it's normally a summer sport. NBA, NFL, baseball offseason. And the thing that we're talking about is more baseball, basketball, soccer than we are football. I'll get to some football coming right up. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. This is Kaplan and Crew.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by Jackery Solar Generator. Explore further with Jackery Solar Generator.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Many are adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
The Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank needs your help feeding families and seniors in need this holiday season. Provide food assistance to those in need at hundreds of food distribution sites throughout San Diego County.
Today, we're here at one of our senior food program distribution sites in Chula Vista, where we're going to be serving over 450 seniors at this one location. The San Diego Food Bank has been around since 1977. We are currently serving over 500,000 people every single month. We were serving 350,000 people throughout all of San Diego County just before the pandemic, so the need has definitely increased. We are here and wanting to make sure that families know where they can access food, and that folks who want to contribute know how to donate to the food bank to continue to support those 500,000 families every single month.
Happy holidays from the San Diego Food Bank.
Many are adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
Many are adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
¿A dónde vas a ir?
On every mountain and valley you tread, through wind and rain, we're here with you. To shine a light when it gets dark, and to forge a path where it gets tough. Let Jackery Solar power all your hopes and dreams. Take you where you want to go, to the goals you chase, to the ones you love. Explore further with Jackery Solar. Jackery, 10 years on.
I don't have a penny to my name.
You're hired.
It's great, Mom. We're about to lose the store and you're hiring the homeless.
You know, we could dress him up like Santa.
We could charge kids to take pictures with him.
He's a natural.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
So I thought we'd do